Alright, had so much trouble getting this thing started, and now it works. Okay, now I can hear myself on my own headphones, and no echo. So this is the cover of the book. Artist Samuel Leo Banyeles, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's available for commission. I'll see if I can find a link. Creepy eyes. The back of the cover reads, "How far will she go?" Fresh out of high school, Yona Chisato had only questions about her parents' disappearance or her father's betrayal. A betrayal that nightmares wouldn't let rest unexplained. The plan? Take advantage of World War IV's global civil war and join an army to learn any and everything she could to put that monster in the grave. With her practical mind and attention to detail, she is driven to overcome any challenge that stands in her way, magic, technology, human, or demon. Is she willing to sacrifice even her humanity for closure? Yeah, I had always pictured it in the movie Preview Man voice, which I thought was pretty neat. All in all, this book, I started it out in 2014. I was unemployed, going through several fits of schizophrenia, and couldn't couldn't hold down a job. And while I was enjoying the perks of relying on other people to pay for my food, uh, I played video games. There was one game, Onigiri, which is a Japanese folklore MMORPG. It's free to play, but you gotta pay to win. And I learned that the hard way. I wanted to play for free. And so I had set stupid challenges for myself. One of the challenges was to uh, go through as far as you could in the content with just the starter weapon. All the weapons have durability, and as you use them, they break. You gotta pay to repair them. Luckily, it's in-game currency, not real currency. But the starter weapon is invincible, so I would just use that, and I did it. I accomplished my goal, and as I had completed my journey, I met some friends along the way, and one of them said, "Why don't you try not leveling up and uh, get a really big axe and make a really small character?" So I was like, "Yeah, little girl, big axe. That sounds like a great idea." And so we quickly got the equipment that would negate 90% of experience gain. But if you wear that twice, it's 1 XP for everything that you kill. And we're talking about EXP in the scale of 100 million. So I'm not leveling up anytime soon. And there was a particular party trick that I had Yona use. It's called Sacrifice, which takes away half your health, and then Sacrifice again, which takes away everything but 1 hit point. And then there was another skill called Double Edge Cut that would triple your damage if you have 1 HP. And then there was another skill called Fierce God's Focus, which guarantees a critical multiplier to that attack. And so what would happen is you can equip like 2 or 3 weapons at a time. So you get one weapon to get you there, and then you just start doing damage. And then while your skill is in cooldown, you switch to a different weapon and then do more damage. And so Yona, what I would race against is not only the enemy could one-shot me, but Yona's regeneration would cause her to become weaker as she healed. So I hated when healers would heal me because it would just ruin the entire thing. Yell at them, "Why are you healing me?" And so that's where Yona's regeneration comes in. No spoilers. Read the book. And because of the nature of Onigiri, which is demon decapitator, as well as rice ball, uh, Yona became an adrenaline junkie that she would always bite off more than she could chew, go into situations that are vastly overpowered to her, and somehow overcome them with well-timed dodges, well-timed blocks, and punishing strikes for every time they made a mistake. And I fell in love with the character. I really wanted to explore more worlds with this character instead of leaving her alone in Onigiri, which got to be nicknamed Grindagiri, although some of my friends in real life didn't like how much time I was spending on the game, so they called it Methagiri. And so I took to different games, and the common theme between all of them was make Yona petite and have her with twin tails and have her with pink hair. And I really got to see who she was over the course of any world that we'd go and explore, and it was kind of nice. And eventually one day I decided to write like a fanfic about my own character, which is writing in a nutshell. So I started writing there, and Yuno kind of spawned off of Yona in Onigiri, where Yona was the melee user, Yuna was the magic user, and it got to the point that enemies were too dangerous to get close, and magic had to take over. And of course, I made Yuno a healer, but she was an attack healer. She wouldn't heal, she would use only the attack spells, which I thought that was also kind of funny. And in the end, she ended up using all these darkness spells instead of the light spells. And so now I've got these two sisters going through several different adventures. And so I started writing, and I think there was like 7 revisions of the book before I finally brought it to an editor. And then there was even another revision after that. It went from third person to first person. So it's been a long journey. If you think about it, the journey started in 2014, and here it is, 2024. It's been a decade in the making. And of course, I've been watching videos for the second book, not in the series, although I do intend to make a second book in the series. They're saying 5 things that writers do wrong, or first writers do wrong. Like they don't research. Yep, I didn't do that. They don't plan it out. Yep, I didn't do that. And I ended up paying for it, literally, in dollars and cents. In the editing process, we continued until it was right. And I could have saved myself some thousands of dollars if I had just planned it out, which I'm doing that for this next book. In the end, not to spoil anything, I'd rather you read it than listen to this. I'm excited to make a second book about it. It's not the end of her story. There's some loose ends that I need to tie up, but they are sufficiently handled in the first book. There's no plot holes, so to say. But there's some areas that I'd like to explore further in the second book. And we'll see how it goes at the end of the second book if I'm ready for a third. I want to keep Yona as a interdimensional traveler, which then ends up in an episodal kind of situation. So we've got this pilot book and then the episodes afterwards, which they don't have to be as long, but I I don't want to make many characters, but I do want to make many stories. And Yona's the type that can handle handle herself in a fight. So I guess I'll wrap this up. Keep this short. That's one thing that the editor did on the first book. Is it was 200,000 words before I brought it to the editor, and then we were done. It was just under 100,000. And he was saying, pacing, man, there's a lot of details in here that nobody cares about. I was like, yeah. So, and the funny thing is that I applied that to my own thinking in real life. And like, pacing, dude, nobody cares about that thought, so I don't say it. And lately, I've become a man of few words because there's a lot of thoughts that people just don't care about. But I've noticed that, like in economy, by using less words, the words that I do use are more valuable. So, less is more. I'm looking forward to this second book in a different series. It's more about my story and how schizophrenia molded me to who I am now. So, thank you for listening to this, and be blessed. Check out the book. It's on Amazon. I have songs on there as well. It's all under the title Lex Remlap. So